ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we will discuss about some basic philosophical truths about the science of self-realization, the soul, the mind, the intelligence, the false ego, and the soul, and the relationship of the soul with God. So, which are the primary questions which are facing human society at every step? The Mahabharata states that ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanyame pashubhi naranam धर्मो हि तेषामधिको विशेषो धर्मेण हि न पशुभिः समानः. That there are four principal basic activities which all human beings and all animals they are engaged in: eating, sleeping, mating, and protecting themselves, defending. These are the four activities which every living being is engaged in. So, if these four activities are the purpose of life, then God would not give us an advanced human body, because human body is advanced in consciousness as compared to animal or tree body, which means that we have higher responsibilities. God has a higher expectation from us, that we inquire about the purpose of human life. Who are we and who is God, and where do we have to go at the time of death? If we don't inquire about God, then we become the same, just like the animals. Here you are seeing on the screen that there is no difference between a pack of dogs in the room and the different people who are fighting in this world over some territories. This is mine, that is mine. Even a pack of dogs, they use their nails to bite each other, their teeth, and we are using the modern missiles and grenades and rifles, modern weapons, but actually the activity is the same: trying to defend ourselves, trying to feel insecure. Actually, we just live for some 70, 80, 90 years in a particular piece of land, and we start identifying with that, and we claim that this is mine, that is yours, and we start fighting over it. What is the difference between our fighting and the fighting of dogs? The only difference is that we have sophisticated technology to fight. And in the sophisticated technology we are using, we think that we are better than animals, but the instinct is the same. Just like we drink water in a golden cup or a silver cup or a bronze cup or a stainless steel cup, it is the same taste. Similarly, eating, sleeping, mating, and protecting ourselves, defending, this pleasure is the same in all the different bodies, 8.4 million bodies as described in the Vedas. Hmm. When a dog sleeps on the ground, after the dog sleeps, the dog gets the same pleasure like we get on sleeping in our cushion at home. We may be sleeping in air condition, AC, or a very, very comfortable room, but after sleeping the pleasure is the same. So life is not meant for sleeping. If we want to sleep in this life, then better we take the body of a boar or a bear. A bear can sleep for 6 months in hibernation. Human life is not meant simply for sleeping. Neither human life is meant for eating. If you simply want to eat, after eating, we eat so many different kind of recipes are made in this world to satisfy the tastes of the tongue. But ultimately, the animals, they eat grass or plastic or stool, whatever they eat. Ultimately, that also gives them different tastes. So basically, the pleasure of eating also is the same. We may cook some nice pizza, but that pizza is uneatable for the pig or the dog. For them, there is a different set of recipes, different set of eating ingredients. So human life is not meant for simply for eating. Otherwise, the more conducive to eating is the pig body. The pig can eat anything free of cost. If we want to eat, we have to purchase from the market, or we have to go to a restaurant and spend so much money. But a pig can eat for free all the garbage. So eating is not the sole purpose of human life, because it is that facility is available even in the animal species, animal body. In human life, something more is available, and that we should concentrate on. Mating also is freely available in all the animal species. Everyone procreates children, and the pleasure of sex life is there in every animal body. And a human being may try to enjoy sex life with different variegated surroundings, but ultimately it is the same pleasure as found in the animal bodies. So again, the facility for human life, a pigeon is a bird which can have much more time sex in a day than a human being. So God will tell us that if I have given you this valuable human body after millions of births, if you don't want to use it for self-realization, then better you take the body of a pigeon. If you simply want only sex, then pigeon can have much more time sex during the day than the human being. If you want to use the human life for eating, then you become the pig. More facility for eating, unlimited. The pig never becomes satiated. Always the belly is full. Sleeping, one can become a bear. And defending ourselves, we can become a dog. A dog does not need any external investment in the form of weapons to defend itself. Just the nails and the teeth are enough. Or a tiger. We may build massive weapons, massive arsenals to defend ourselves because we feel insecure, but it is a whole cycle. The more we build up weapons, the more we feel insecure. Somebody will become more than us. It builds up the arms race, and millions and billions of people remain poor in this world. People don't get to eat because everyone is amassing mass weapons instead of helping the cause of self-realization, giving spiritual knowledge and giving material help. So, because this feeling of insecurity is there. So, this is there in all the species. If you see animals, they don't want to die. When you even, with a dog, if you raise a stone in your hand, the dog runs for his life. So this feeling of insecurity, fear, protection, protect oneself is there even in the animal species. Human life is not meant simply for, these 4 things have to be done to some extent. But along with this, there has to be a balance. One has to use the human life for some higher purpose. Dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho dharme nahina pashubhi samana. The extra thing in human life, according to Mahabharata, whose the Itihas of 100,000 verses, in that it is described, the extra thing for human life is dharma. Dharma or spiritual inquiry. Spiritual knowledge. Unless that spiritual knowledge is added to our lives, dharme nahina pashubhi samana. We are just simply 2-legged animals, doing the same activities in a more sophisticated way than what the animals are doing. So what is our difference? I ask all of you, please think about it seriously. What is the difference? We spend our life making money to live comfortably, to enjoy, but even animals are doing without doing a job. They can eat freely, they can mate freely. They may not have an apartment, but they are enjoying much in the free atmosphere. So my question to you is, please consider this, that there is something extra in this human form of life. And that is the soul, science of the soul and God, self-realization. To inquire, who am I? Where I have come from? Where I have to go? Animals cannot do this inquiry. Neither animals can listen to this video. They won't be able to understand. So I request you to please ponder about the meaning of life. Take this up seriously. So that is what we have to inquire about. Where are we going? The more we advance in technology, in the standard of living, the gap between the poor and the rich is increasing day by day, and unemployment, drug addiction, murder, violence, suicide, divorce, mental stress, corruption, crime, rape, all these things are becoming the thorn in the advancement of modern civilization. The more and more we try to relieve our distress through technological advancement, the more we are feeling that the more we are feeling the pressure of all these horrible, ghastly reactions. So it's a rat race, the survival of the fittest. If we don't work hard like an ass, we cannot even eat our meals. It was not like this around 200-300 years back. People could live peacefully, simply with a cow and some milk and a farm. But now, so much competition. Those who can't progress, those who can't put in really hard labor and run in the competition, they are finished. So all these things make us work really hard, and what the hard work does is that it takes away our lifespan, and we do not know, in a very, very quick time our life passes and we become old and we miss the goal of human life. We never inquire, what is there something higher than all this. Our life passes like lightning in this rat race of the survival of the fittest. Haribol. So yes, we should consider that why we are suffering from unemployment, from poverty, from so much violence, because the main cause of this is misidentification. It's identity crisis. 99.99% of the people in this world are faced with identity crisis. Identity crisis, let me explain a little more about it. It means that we don't know who are we. We do not know who we are. Then how can we actually give ourselves real happiness? I may try to give myself happiness, but first I should know who am I. So we will take up this question in the next slide. Because we do not know who we are. That is why we are not able to control our mind. Because we do not know how the mind functions. There have been millions of books written on the mind, but hardly anyone has a clue of how the mind is related to us. So that is why this science of controlling the mind is not taught in any university and institution, because for that one has to go to the root cause of who we are. Are we the body or the mind? So this question is not answered in any school or college. That is why we experience lack of confidence, depression, stress, loss of trust, madness, dangerous diseases, weakened determination, damage to oneself, family and society, hypertension, disturbed senses, fickle mind and lusty intelligence. These are the biggest problems, because even one person who has a disturbed mind can actually destroy the whole world if he has that power. So it's very, very important that the science of self-control, self-realization, mind control, and our identity, knowledge of our own identity should be taught very widely all over the world. Srimad Bhagavatam says that Prayana avpayusha sabya kalavasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayoho manda bhagya upadritaha. That in the Kali Yuga we experience that there will be quarrels even at a little bit of disagreement. People will pick up quarrels and engage in addiction, liquor, so many different kinds of things to forget about the distressful condition for day-to-day life. So anger will pervade everywhere in our work. That our dealings will become full with agitation and anger. So the cause for this is an uncontrolled mind, and that the cause for that is that we don't know who we are. The identity crisis. Our message to the world is that first, please know who you are before you know your mind. because mind is actually controlled by us. So we have to understand our identity. Who are we? How many of us stand in front of a mirror daily? Almost all of us daily stand in front of the mirror. But we try to decorate our body daily. But have we asked the question, who am I? Next time I would request you, when you stand before the mirror, please try to analyze, because that is the higher facility in this human body. We have a developed intelligence. Please ask this question. Am I this body? Okay, if you are this body, why are you telling that it is your body, my body? We say it is my body. It means that I am different from this body. Am I this hair? No, if you say my hair, I cannot be the hair. I cannot be such an insignificant thing. Am I this hand? No, not at all. Am I this coat? It cannot be a coat. The coat is manufactured in the factory. Am I this nose? No, if the nose is damaged, I still can keep on living. Who am I? Easy to point to your own eye or nose, but can you point to yourself? That is my question. I tell you, please point to your nose or your head. You can say, yeah, this is my nose. But the question to all the intelligent people in this world who consider themselves as intelligent should answer this question: who are we? Are we a body which is full of chemicals? If that is true, then why do you say that my body, I am running this body, I am moving this body? So who are you? You have to be separate than the body. Again, mind. So we are. That is my request to all of you, that please try to think about this important question of human life, about our real nature. Who are we? Because in this question and in this answer lies the secret of our happiness, the secret of our success in this human life. Who are we trying to make happy? Who are we trying to work for? Who am I? Do I die at the time of death? Once we find this root answer to this root, this question, root cause of our existence, then all the questions regarding life, death, birth, God, everything can be answered. The ABC of spiritual realization is to understand who are we, and what is our connection with this body, with this mind, with this intelligence, with this ego. What is our connection? That is important to understand. So the Bhagavad Gita gives the answer. It says, Apareyam mitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yedam dharyate jagat. That it is very clear that we do not want to die, because we actually don't die. You see, this propensity to fear death actually comes from the fact that we don't die. That is why we fear death. Because something which is artificially imposed on us, because of our misidentification with the body, we think we die. The body dies. Because the body is matter. The matter decays. But we are not the body. We are the spiritual spark, the soul in the body. That is the statement of the Bhagavad Gita. And we are not a product of chemical reaction. Okay, if modern day science says that we are the bodies, the combination of all the chemicals in the body is me, then my dear sir, when you die, why don't you inject those chemicals and restart the reaction? Join all the chemicals and again make the person live. A famous surgeon in Canada, he found at the time of death something leaves the heart, the region of the heart. He was a heart surgeon, so he could easily see that a spark was leaving the heart. So Bigelow, his name was Mr. Bigelow. You can find this in a book Coming Back, published by the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. So we are surely not just a product of chemicals, because it is an insult to us. Life, consciousness cannot be a product of chemicals. It's the biggest insult to our nature. We are not simply chemicals. Chemicals, if chemicals can make this kind of emotions, then why don't the scientists make from the chemicals, make some living beings? Okay, they are making robots by technological advancement, chemicals, but still the robot requires a person to make it. And it has all kinds of limitations which a human being does not have. A robot civilization is a myth. Because ultimately there has to be superior intelligence who can make them work, and that is human being, and that intelligence is not simply the body, that is coming from a spiritual spark. We are actually the soul, not this body, and we are the possessors, we are the proprietors of this body for a short span of time. That is our lifespan. But unfortunately we misidentify with this body. That is why we are not able to even answer a simple question when we stand beside a mirror. Who am I? Because we are not taking the knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita, from God. The scientists are trying to research on this subject, how life came, who are we, for thousands of years, hundreds of years, but there is no conclusion. Instead, they are just now struggling with the externals. Everyone is trying to improve the condition of life. That's a very good thing, but one is not going to the root of the problem. About our real identity. Do we die at the time of death? Do we take birth? Do we get diseased? I don't like disease. My body gets diseased. I don't get diseased. So who am I? The Vedas are very clear. You are the soul, spiritual spark who is not this body. So we'll discuss about this topic more elaborately in the next slides.